Welcome to the Sleepy Christian, and tonight we'll be talking about Psalm 23, a whispered reflection for deep rest. Before we begin, where in the world are you listening from? Whether you're settling down in a quiet countryside cottage, a city apartment high above the streets, or a cozy room where the wind softly brushes against your window, you are welcome here. This is your space to breathe, to slow down, to rest in the peace of God's word. You are not forgotten. Not in the quiet hours of the night, not in the stillness when the world grows dim and the thoughts come rushing in. You are not invisible to the one who made you. The Lord is your shepherd, not just a shepherd, not just someone else's, yours, personal, present, watching over you with care that never fails. That opening line, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," isn't just a poetic phrase, it's a promise. A soft-spoken declaration that you are held by someone who knows exactly what you need, even when you don't have the words to ask, even when your prayers feel too quiet or too weary to rise. He is not a distant God. He doesn't sit far off watching from the heavens. He walks with you, beside you, within every moment of your life. He sees you at your strongest, and he holds you in your weakest, in the parts of your soul that you keep hidden, in the moments when you doubt your own worth. He is already there, whispering truth over you. You matter, you belong, you are his. Tonight, in the hush of the evening, he invites you to remember, to rest in that knowing, to stop striving for just a little while. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't even have to feel strong. You just have to be, right here, right now, exactly as you are. Picture a shepherd with gentle eyes, steady hands, and a heart entirely focused on the well-being of his flock. That's how he sees you. He notices when you're weary, when the journey has been long, when the burdens feel too heavy to carry. He doesn't rush you. He doesn't push. He simply stays near, guiding, watching, waiting for you to find your breath again. There is no judgment in his gaze, only love that doesn't let go, love that calls you by name. You may have walked through busy days, full of noise and expectation. You may have carried silent struggles or smiled through pain. But now, in this stillness, you can let those walls fall away. Let the masks slip. There is nothing you need to perform here. This moment is not about doing, it's about being, about knowing, deep in your soul, that the shepherd sees you. He knows your voice. He knows your fears. He knows the story you carry and the pages that have yet to unfold. And in every word, in every pause, he is whispering peace. He doesn't promise a life without shadows, but he promises that you'll never walk through them alone. He doesn't promise ease, he promises presence. A presence that doesn't waver when the world shakes. A presence that shelters you, leads you, restores you. And that's where rest begins. Not in certainty, not in control, but in the quiet trust that you are not walking this life unseen. You are being shepherded by love itself. So now, as your head sinks into your pillow, let these words settle deep into your heart. The Lord is my shepherd, not just in the light of day, but in the silence of the night. Not only in the mountaintop moments, but in the valleys too. He is with you, he is for you, he is enough, and because of that, you shall not want. Not for peace, not for comfort, not for rest. Everything you need, he holds in his hands, and he's holding you, too. He makes me lie down in green pastures, such a gentle image, almost too peaceful to be real, in a world that rarely slows down. But this is no illusion. This is an invitation into a different rhythm, not one of constant motion, not of striving or surviving, but of stillness. Can you feel it already beginning to settle in your chest? This quieting. Picture it now. A wide open field stretching out beneath a golden sky. The grass is soft beneath you, cool and welcoming. The air gentle and full of quiet. There is no noise here, no pressure, no urgency, just peace. And more than peace, safety. Because the one who brought you here is not asking you to earn rest, but simply to receive it. So much of life feels like running, rushing from one thing to the next, balancing too much, thinking too hard, trying to hold everything together. But the shepherd sees how tired you are. He knows the weight you've carried through the day, through the week, maybe for much longer than that. And so, he brings you here, not to keep moving, but to stop, to lie down, to let the exhaustion melt away as you rest not just your body, but your soul. In this pasture, there is nothing to chase, nothing to prove. It's okay to let go now, to let your mind begin to wander away from the responsibilities, the thoughts that replay over and over like an old song you're tired of hearing. Let the shepherd lead those thoughts out, one by one, until all that's left is quiet, not empty, but full of the soft presence of grace, the kind that doesn't demand anything from you, the kind that simply says, "You are safe here, rest." And the beauty of this moment is that he doesn't just lead you to the pasture and leave. He stays, watching over you with a heart that never tires, with eyes that never close. As you lie down, he's near, closer than your next breath. There's no fear in this field, no danger lurking at the edges. The shepherd has cleared it for you, prepared it just for you. It's a place made for rest, deep, healing, unshakable rest. Let your body grow heavier now, as if the ground itself is welcoming you. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw loosen, your hands unclench. You are not meant to be in control here. You're meant to be cared for. As the soft breeze moves across the grass, it carries away your anxiety. As the light dims into a gentle twilight, it draws your thoughts into stillness. Nothing here demands your attention. Nothing pulls at your heart. The only thing left is presence, his presence, surrounding you like a quiet song, like a lullaby written before time began. Maybe for a long time rest has felt out of reach. Maybe you've struggled to quiet your mind, or to find space where you can breathe freely. But here, now, in this sacred pasture of peace, you are allowed to stop running. You're allowed to stop holding everything together. The shepherd holds it for you, and he holds you too. This isn't a moment you have to earn. It's a gift, given freely, offered nightly, extended in love that never grows tired of welcoming you home. So lie down now. Let the pastures wrap around you. Let the shepherd's care hold you, like the earth cradles the roots of a tree, deeply, gently, steadily. You don't have to move, just stay and rest. He leads me beside still waters. Can you hear them now? That soft, steady trickle flowing quietly through a shaded grove. Imagine the way the light dances across the surface, glinting like stars scattered across the water. There's a rhythm to it, slow and sure, a kind of sacred music that doesn't need words. This isn't the roaring crash of a waterfall or the stormy toss of waves. This is the hush of stillness, a gentle stream, calm and smooth, untouched by the rush of the world. This is where he brings you, not by accident, but with intention, because he knows how noise wears down the soul. He knows the strain of constant decisions, of endless questions, of moments where it feels like everything is just a little too much. And so, he leads you, not drives, not pushes, but gently leads you to the quiet. Still, waters are not just a place. They are a state of being, a state where your soul can exhale, where your mind can loosen its grip on the spinning thoughts that so often run wild. Here, by these waters, there is no hurry. The air is thick with peace, cool and refreshing. Trees lean over the edge of the stream, their branches swaying in a rhythm only they understand. The breeze moves without urgency, like time itself has slowed to match the calm. Can you feel it softening the edges of your thoughts? Can you sense your spirit beginning to sink into the moment, leaving behind the tightness of the day? You were never meant to run on empty. You were never designed to go without pause. And yet, so often, we push past the signs, ignoring the soul's quiet plea for rest. But the shepherd sees what we often miss. He sees the tiredness hidden beneath smiles. He sees the cluttered thoughts, the longings unspoken, the weight you carry in silence. And so he leads you here, beside the still waters, because he knows that here, healing begins, not loudly, not suddenly, but gently, like ripples moving outward, touching every part of who you are. Watch how the water reflects the sky, how it mirrors the beauty above, yet remains grounded in the earth below. That's what peace does. It grounds you, even while it lifts you. And just as the stream flows steadily, never rushing, never forced, so does His love flow through your life, always present, always enough. You don't have to search for it. You don't have to earn it. Just let it surround you. Let it remind you that you are already enough, already loved, already safe. Maybe you've been walking through days filled with noise, outer noise, yes, but also the inner kind, the voices that question your worth, that echo old fears, that rush you past the present moment. But those voices don't belong here, not by the still waters. Let their volume fade. Let the water carry them away, far downstream, until all that's left is silence, and not the lonely kind. This silence is sacred. It's the silence where you meet yourself again, where you meet God again, without pretense or pressure. Let the stillness sink into your bones. Let it quiet the pacing in your chest, the tension in your shoulders, the worry in your heart. You don't have to be anywhere else. There is no next thing to get to, no list to complete, no expectation hanging over your head. Just this, just now, just the soft sound of water and the shepherd sitting near. Maybe he doesn't say anything. Maybe he just rests beside you. And maybe that's all you need, to know that you are not alone, that your presence is enough, and that peace is not far off or hard to find. It's here, in the gentle hush of this moment, in the stillness of the waters, in the closeness of your shepherd. Let yourself stay a little longer. Let your soul drink deeply. Let peace do what it was always meant to do. Restore you, slowly, quietly, fully. He restores my soul. What a gentle promise. And yet, how easy it is to forget. The world moves quickly, always asking for more effort, more attention, more energy. Sometimes it feels like you're pouring out until there's almost nothing left to give. Weariness settles in, not just in your body but deep in your spirit. Yet here, in this quiet moment, you are invited to lay it all down, to bring every tired thought, every ache, every disappointment, and let them rest at the feet of the shepherd who restores. He is not in a hurry. He isn't disappointed by your need. He knows that to restore something precious, you must first handle it with tenderness. Imagine your soul as a garden at the end of a long season. The soil has been worked, the flowers have bloomed and faded, the branches feel heavy with the memory of storms and sun alike. Maybe parts of you feel wilted, maybe some dreams seem small or lost, but the gardener does not abandon the ground when it's tired. He leans in closer. He kneels in the soil, clears away the debris, tends to the roots. In his hands, restoration begins, not in noise or hurry, but in patience and gentle care. He restores your soul with a kindness that can't be rushed. With every breath, he invites you to simply receive. Sometimes restoration comes quietly, like the slow return of light at dawn. Sometimes it happens as you let go of things you can't carry anymore. Old regrets, worn-out anxieties, burdens you were never meant to shoulder alone. The shepherd sees it all. Nothing is hidden from him, not even the parts of yourself you find hardest to love. And he is never shocked by your weakness, never surprised by your struggle. He draws near, not with judgment, but with the balm of mercy. He whispers that you are enough, even when you feel emptied out. He gathers the scattered pieces of your heart and gently, tenderly, begins to put you back together. Restoration doesn't always look like sudden transformation. Sometimes it's as subtle as a sigh, as quiet as a prayer you didn't have the strength to finish. Sometimes it's letting your heart be quiet for the first time in a long while. Here, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to put on a brave face. Here, with the shepherd, you can let the tears fall if they need to. You can be honest about what hurts, what feels broken, what feels lost. He hears it all, and still he stays. Still, he loves. Still, he restores. As you lie here, imagine his hands over your heart, steady and warm. Feel the gentle pressure as he soothes the bruised places, breathes life into the places that feel numb or forgotten. Restoration is not about returning to what was. It's about becoming something whole, something beautiful, something new. The shepherd's restoring love brings back hope where you thought hope had faded. It brings courage where you felt only fear. It plants new dreams, waters dry ground, brings color back to the faded parts of your soul. Let your breathing deepen, let your thoughts slow. With every inhale, imagine the shepherd's peace filling the empty spaces, smoothing out the sharp edges, softening the burdens. With every exhale, let go of what you can't fix, what you can't change, what you were never meant to carry alone. You are not here to force your own healing. You are here to be restored by the one who delights in making all things new. Tonight, as you surrender to rest, know that restoration is not a distant hope, but a present reality. It is happening even now, as you listen, as you lie still, as you let go. The shepherd who loves you is always in the business of restoration, and his work is gentle, steady, unhurried, and always enough. So let yourself sink into this promise. Let yourself be restored. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to earn. Simply be here and let his love do what only it can do. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. There's a beautiful mystery in the way the shepherd guides us, not with force, not with fear, but with gentle certainty, shaping every step with a love that never grows weary. Life so often feels like a maze, with twists and turns, dead ends, questions that linger without answers. Sometimes you may wonder if you're walking the right path at all. Sometimes the next step feels hidden, and every decision seems heavy with possibility. But the shepherd is not far off in those moments of uncertainty. He is nearer than your own breath, quietly guiding, patiently leading, making a way even when you cannot see it. He sees further than you can imagine. He knows what's around every bend, every shadowed corner, every hill and valley you will ever cross. There is comfort in knowing that the path set before you is shaped by his wisdom, not your own striving. You don't have to figure it all out tonight. You don't have to solve every problem or carry the weight of tomorrow. All he asks is that you trust him with the next small step. The shepherd leads you on these right paths, not because of what you have done, but because of who he is, faithful, true, full of grace. His reputation is staked on your journey, and he has never failed, not once, to finish what he starts. Even if you wander, even if you feel lost, his gentle voice is always calling you back, always inviting you to walk with him again. You are never so far gone that he cannot lead you home. Picture yourself on a path through the woods, the ground soft beneath your feet, dappled sunlight slipping through the leaves overhead. There's no rush here, no anxiety pressing at your back. The shepherd walks ahead, his pace steady and sure, turning back often to smile, to reassure, to remind you that you are not walking alone. There might be moments where the way grows narrow, where branches brush against you and shadows lengthen. Sometimes the path feels uphill, slow, even tiring. Other times it opens up into wide meadows, bright and full of hope. But whether it's a gentle slope or a rocky climb, each stretch of this journey is watched over, cared for, chosen for you with perfect wisdom. For his name's sake, he leads you, not just for your good, but as a reflection of his own loving heart. It means that every step you take is under his protection, every detour is redeemed, every mistake is covered in grace. You are not defined by how straight your walk has been, but by the steadfastness of the one who leads you. Even when you feel unsure, even when you doubt your own decisions, his guidance does not falter. Sometimes his voice is a gentle nudge, a whisper of peace when your thoughts are loud. Other times, it's the opening of a door, the sudden clarity that comes just when you need it most. You are never asked to run ahead or find your own way in the dark. You are simply asked to walk with him, step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. Let that truth sink in as you prepare for rest. There is freedom in not needing to know the whole path, in simply letting go of the need to control and embracing the gentle trust that he is leading you well. The shepherd's guidance is never hurried, never harsh. He walks at the pace of your heart, attentive to your fears and your hopes alike. If you stumble, he is quick to steady you. If you pause in uncertainty, He is patient to wait with you. He takes delight in guiding you, not as a task to be checked off, but as a journey to share together. As you let your thoughts settle and your heart quiet, picture the path stretching before you, unknown, perhaps, but never unloved. Every twist is shaped by a purpose, every step wrapped in promise. The shepherd's name is written over your journey, and because of that, you can rest. You don't have to strive tonight. You don't have to force yourself forward. Just breathe and know that the path of righteousness is not a path of perfection, but a path of presence. His presence with you, always, in every moment, every season, every tomorrow that is yet to come. Let yourself be led, gently, surely, by the shepherd who knows the way home. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. There is a unique hush that falls over the soul when darkness settles in. The valley can be many things: a season of uncertainty, a shadow of worry that lingers after the lights go out, a grief that sits quietly beside you in the silence of the night. There is no shame in finding yourself in that valley, no weakness in admitting that the shadows sometimes seem too long, the silence too heavy. In these moments, it's easy to feel alone, to wonder if anyone sees, if anyone truly understands what your heart is carrying. But this is where the shepherd's promise becomes real, where the words move from poetry to presence. He does not wait for you on the other side of the valley. He walks with you through it. The shepherd is not afraid of the dark. He is not intimidated by the shadows that frighten you, or the fears you can't quite speak aloud. He matches your steps, never rushing, never leaving you behind. In the stillness, you can sense it, a steady hand, a quiet breath, a presence that does not waver, even when you do. He does not ask you to pretend that the valley isn't real. He does not ask you to ignore your pain or brush past your sorrow. Instead, He acknowledges the darkness and steps into it with you, carrying a light that cannot be put out. Fear loses its grip in the presence of perfect love. The shepherd's nearness is your comfort, His unwavering attention, your peace. No evil can separate you from His care. No shadow can hide you from His sight. Even when your strength is gone, even when the tears come quietly, you are seen, you are held, you are known. The valley is not a sign of abandonment. It is the place where the shepherd's companionship is most intimate. His footsteps are beside yours, His rod and staff ready to protect, to comfort, to guide you through. There is no need to hurry. There is no pressure to have answers or to be brave. All you need is to allow yourself to be accompanied, to let your soul lean into the comfort of knowing you do not walk alone. Imagine the cool air of the valley, the ground soft beneath your feet, the world hushed except for the sound of your own breath and the gentle rustle of the shepherd's presence beside you. Every fear, every uncertainty, every ache of your heart is not ignored, but gently wrapped in compassion. You are not required to be strong here. You are not asked to find your own way through. The shepherd shoulders your worry, your doubts, your sorrow, and leads you one careful step at a time. Sometimes the valley feels endless. Sometimes the darkness feels as if it will never lift. But in the deep shadows, small glimmers of hope begin to shine. A memory, a promise, a sense that the shepherd has led others through this very place before, and He will not leave you now. He is the God who stays, who keeps vigil as you rest, who keeps watch when you have no words left to pray. Even the deepest valley cannot outlast His presence. Even the heaviest night cannot swallow the gentle light He brings. The valley is not the end of the story. It is the sacred place where you discover, again and again, that love walks beside you, unafraid and unwavering. So let your fears rest, even if only for tonight. Let yourself be comforted by the steady assurance that you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not walking this valley alone. The shepherd's presence is enough, His strength perfect in your weakness, His love steadfast through every shadow. The valley may feel long, but it is not forever. His hand will lead you onward, His heart will sustain you. In the darkest place, a light is shining, and it is for you. Rest in that promise as you journey on, step by gentle step, through the valley, surrounded by a love that will never let you go. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. There is something deeply reassuring in the idea of being watched over, of being protected with wisdom and strength that does not sleep. The rod and staff of the shepherd are not tools of punishment, but symbols of loving guidance and sure defense. In the ancient fields, a shepherd's rod was sturdy, worn smooth from years of faithful use, strong enough to drive away danger, gentle enough to lift a lamb back to safety. The staff, curved at the end, was always close by, guiding the sheep with just the lightest touch, nudging them back from the edge of trouble, drawing them near when the path was narrow. These are not symbols of control, but of deep care. Think of the comfort that comes when you know, beyond any doubt, that you are safe, that someone is looking out for you, even when you cannot see what's ahead. The shepherd stands guard through the darkness, patient and unwavering, alert to every sound, every movement, every fear that stirs in the night. Nothing escapes his notice. He is not distracted or indifferent. He never grows tired or careless. His presence is a steady reassurance, a gentle anchor for your restless heart. With every hour that passes, he keeps watch, his attention never wavering, even when yours drifts off into dreams. The comfort he brings isn't loud or dramatic. It's quiet, a peace that settles slowly into the places where you need it most. Maybe it's the sudden sense of calm when anxiety tries to rise. Maybe it's the way your breathing evens out when you remember you are not alone. Maybe it's the memory of promises kept, or the gentle reminder that no matter how tangled your thoughts, you are still held. The shepherd's rod defends you against the things that threaten your peace, even those dangers you never see. His staff gently corrects your course, leading you back to safety, reminding you with every gentle prod that you are not wandering through life on your own. Sometimes, comfort is simply the knowledge that you don't have to carry everything by yourself. You don't have to keep your guard up or be strong for everyone else. The shepherd is strong enough for both of you. He stands between you and whatever would harm you, fierce in his devotion, gentle in his approach. If you find yourself drifting toward uncertainty or fear, his staff gently draws you back, closer to his heart. He will not let you go. He will not let you fall without coming after you, seeking you until you are safe again. And so, as night wraps around you, as the world grows quiet and shadows stretch across the walls, you can let yourself relax into this comfort. Let the assurance of the shepherd's watchfulness ease the tightness in your chest, soften the edges of your worry. You are surrounded by his protection, guarded on every side. Even when you cannot see him, he is there. Even when you cannot feel him, his hand remains steady, his care unbroken. The rod and staff are not just symbols, they are the reality of love that will not let you slip away unnoticed. With each breath, allow that comfort to deepen. Let it wrap around you like a warm blanket, reassuring you that the night is not something to fear. Rest in the certainty that the shepherd who holds the rod and staff will not lose sight of you, not for a moment. He has counted every hair on your head, traced every line of your journey. Nothing about you is too small for his attention or too great for his care. In this stillness, you can surrender your guard, let your body grow heavy, and trust that you are utterly, completely safe. The shepherd keeps watch, his love a shield around you, his comfort, a gentle song that leads you deeper into peace. Let yourself drift in that promise, knowing that you are guarded, loved, and held through every hour of this night. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Such a striking image, so unexpected. A table set, a feast prepared, not in secret or safety, but right in the middle of trouble, right where fear and anxiety thought they had the final word. The shepherd is not content with just getting you by, or offering a meager portion to tide you over. He prepares a table, lavish and abundant, overflowing with every good thing. This table is not hurriedly thrown together or rationed out in bits and pieces. No, every detail is attended to, every dish made ready with intention and love. The table is not just about food, it is about presence, about invitation, about being known and cherished in the very places where you once felt alone. Imagine what it means to have a table prepared just for you. The setting is beautiful, inviting, with a sense of warmth that calms every anxious thought. You can almost smell fresh bread, sweet fruit, and gentle spices on the air. There is comfort here, and there is welcome. The shepherd pulls out a chair for you, gestures for you to come close, to sit, to breathe deeply, and let your guard down. All the while, whatever threatened your peace, worry, fear, regret, memories that haunt you, are pushed to the edges, unable to touch the sacred space he's created. They may linger in the background, but they are powerless against this feast of love. You are not just a guest here, you are the honored one, welcomed not because you have earned it, but because you are his. This table is a statement. You are not forgotten in your battles. You are not alone in your struggles. Even in the midst of circumstances that seem overwhelming, the shepherd draws you into a place of provision and protection. Every moment spent at this table is a reminder that your needs matter, that your heart is precious, that the shepherd sees everything you face and still chooses to bless you abundantly, right where you are. He is not waiting for the storm to pass before he welcomes you. He is setting the table now, in the presence of every enemy, every hardship, every shadow that tried to convince you that hope was lost. There is strength here. There is dignity. There is a sense of deep, unshakable belonging. At this table, you do not have to look over your shoulder or wonder if the good things are for someone else. Here, your name is spoken with delight. Your presence is celebrated. There is laughter. There is kindness. There is a peace that disarms every fear. Even as troubles watch from the sidelines, they are unable to reach you. The shepherd's protection is sure. His provision is overflowing. You can rest here, eat your fill, drink deeply of every grace offered. You are not hurried, not rushed away. The shepherd lingers with you, happy simply to share your company, to hear the hopes of your heart, to let you taste the fullness of joy even when the world outside is uncertain. Maybe you've spent much of your life believing that blessings are only for the untroubled, that celebration is only for those who have no enemies at the gate. But here, in the wisdom of the shepherd, you see a different way. Joy is not postponed until your problems disappear. Hope is not a prize for those who have no wounds. The table is spread for you, in the middle of it all, right in the face of every challenge, because the shepherd delights to show you that his goodness is greater than your greatest fear. His welcome is stronger than your loneliest night. His provision is wider and deeper than any emptiness you've known. Let yourself settle at this table now. Feel the steadiness of the shepherd's gaze, the warmth of his invitation. Let every bite, every sip remind you that you are cared for, watched over, and wanted. Let your soul feast on belonging, on the gentle strength that comes when you know you are chosen and secure. Here, even the shadows cannot stay. Here, you are free to rejoice, to rest, to be renewed. You are not a stranger in this place. You are home, and the feast is for you, abundant, unending, unshakable, prepared in love, guarded by presence, and offered with joy that no enemy can take away. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. What a tender, personal moment this is, a gesture that says you are precious, chosen, set apart for blessing and care that goes beyond mere necessity. Anointing in ancient times was a sign of honor, of healing, of celebration and belonging. Oil was poured not only to mark a sacred calling but to soothe wounds, refresh the weary, and bring fragrance where life felt ordinary. Now, imagine the shepherd drawing near to you with that same intention, cupping your face gently, seeing not only where you've been strong but also where you've been weary, where your story aches a little. He pours out blessing on you, not sparingly, not with reluctance, but with an abundance that covers every dry place in your soul. There are times in life when emptiness tries to convince you that you will always be running on reserve, always scraping by, always stretching yourself thin. The shepherd's heart is the opposite of scarcity. He does not ration his goodness. Instead, he fills your cup to the brim, then pours more, so much that it spills over, running down, touching every part of your life, even the parts you once tried to hide. This is a picture of God's love for you, generous, unmeasured, constantly more than you expected, or dared to believe. As you sit quietly, let yourself feel the warmth of that oil, the smoothness, the care in every drop, seeping into places you didn't even know needed comfort or restoration. Overflow is not only about having enough, it's about having more than enough, so much that you can't help but share it. The shepherd's blessings are not only for you to hold, but to let flow through you, into your dreams, your relationships, your work, even your sleep. Every worry that kept your heart clenched can relax now, knowing that the shepherd's resources do not run dry. His joy overflows into your sadness, his peace overflows into your anxiety, his hope overflows into every dark and empty corner. You do not have to be afraid of running out. You are not meant to live as if grace is a limited supply. There is more than you could ever use up in a lifetime. His love is new every morning and fresh every night. Maybe you feel unworthy of such abundance. Maybe you have been told by life or by others that you are only worth the bare minimum, but the shepherd disagrees. In his eyes, you are worth every blessing he has to give, every kindness he has to offer, every drop of mercy that can pour over your life. The world may measure by effort or by status, but the shepherd measures by love, and his love always goes further than you expect, always gives more, always fills until overflowing. Let yourself rest in the overflow tonight. See your heart as a cup, once chipped or empty, now filled to the brim with gentleness, with hope, with a peace that is not of your own making, but is poured out from the shepherd's hands. Let that overflow spill into your dreams, into your rest, into the new day that is waiting for you. Every breath you take is a reminder that you are cherished, that you are honored, that your story is being written by a love that will never run dry. In the quiet, in the darkness, let that overflowing presence wash over every part of you. There is no fear of emptiness here. There is only the sound of blessing pouring, steady and sure, filling every place until your soul is satisfied and your heart overflows with the joy of being fully loved. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. These words are like a gentle promise wrapping itself around you at the end of the day, a promise that does not depend on your own strength or performance, but on the steady faithfulness of the shepherd who has loved you from the very beginning. It's the assurance that, no matter where life leads or what roads you travel, goodness and mercy are not just distant hopes or fleeting visitors. They are companions, steady and sure, quietly walking behind you, making every step a little lighter and every burden a little less. Goodness is not just a passing feeling or a happy accident. It is the shepherd's very nature at work in your story, weaving beauty out of brokenness, finding ways to bring light even into the darkest seasons. You might not always see it in the moment. Sometimes it is only looking back that you notice the fingerprints of grace, the little moments where help arrived just in time, where comfort found you when you most needed it, where doors opened when you were sure all paths were closed. Mercy, too, is never far away, always ready to meet your weakness with understanding, your mistakes with forgiveness, your doubts with gentle patience. It is the soft place to land when you are tired, the loving arms that gather you up when you have wandered too far or stumbled too many times. Imagine your days unfolding ahead of you, like a winding path, sometimes sunlit and smooth, sometimes rocky and steep, sometimes shrouded in mist. Through it all, goodness and mercy are there, close as a shadow, sure as the sunrise, determined to keep you company through every season. They do not tire or turn aside. When you wake in the morning, they are there, ready to walk beside you into the newness of another day. When you lay down to rest, they linger at your side, keeping watch while you sleep. Even on the days when you feel lost or uncertain, when you are not sure how to take the next step, goodness and mercy are gently urging you forward, quietly reminding you that you are never walking alone. And then there is this promise: I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Not just for a moment, not just until you get it right, but forever, eternity, stretching out before you, as certain as the shepherd's love. The house of the Lord is not just a building or a faraway place. It is the presence of God surrounding you, a home that welcomes you in with open arms, a shelter that stands through every storm. In the shepherd's house, there is belonging that cannot be lost, a sense of family that is never threatened, a peace that is untouched by circumstances. You are invited to dwell, to stay, to settle, to let your soul rest without fear of being sent away or forgotten. As you drift towards sleep, let yourself feel the security of that home. There are no locked doors here, no barriers to keep you out. You are wanted, expected, celebrated. The shepherd's table is set, his arms are open, his presence is enough for every need. Goodness and mercy are not just trailing behind you, they are shaping your tomorrows, coloring your dreams, making even the unknown places safe, because you are never without the shepherd's care. Every night, every morning, every joy, and every challenge, you are surrounded by a love that has no end. Rest in the certainty that your story is held in hands far stronger and kinder than your own. There is no place you can go where this love cannot reach, no night so dark that it can hide you from the goodness that pursues you, the mercy that lifts you, the home that waits for you. Tonight, as you settle deeper into rest, know that forever means forever. You are always welcome. You are always wanted. You will always have a place in the shepherd's house, where peace is endless and love never fails. Let your heart be at ease, your mind quiet, your body still. Goodness and mercy are keeping watch, and you are home.